Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective, going to 5,000 subscribers September 7th, Texas LSU. Can't wait. Please join us. Please like, share, subscribe if you like our content. Appreciate all you guys as always. But today we are here to talk some Texas hoops. Never talked about Texas hoops on this channel, but what a time to start as they are your new 2019 NIT champions, defeating Lipscomb, Madison Square Garden last night. And look, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm excited for these guys. I'm excited for these seniors. I'm excited for, all things considered, what we learned about this program in the last 5 games. Finishing your regular season 16-16, disappointing exit in the Big 12 tournament, losing Jackson Hayes, who's your most talented player, most likely the NBA. He gets injured, and nobody quit. The effort, the tenacity, and I feel like all those things aside, they found themselves. They found themselves as a collective unit. Shaka Smart having his best stretch really as a coach in terms of developing his kids, I feel like, and getting them to play with as much confidence and playing as free as possible over a elongated stretch. You know, we've seen them play like this in spurts. You know, this is a team that beat North Carolina, that beat Kansas, you know, that was going toe-to-toe with Michigan State earlier in the year. You know, so we have seen some good from this program, but they've been too inconsistent, too up and down. And that's really been kind of the story of Shaka Smart's tenure here in Austin. You know, year 2 was horrible, but year 1, you know, winning, you know, starting out winning 20 games with Zay Taylor and Javon Felix and those guys. And then the Mo Bamba year, you know, we did get back to the tournament, but that was underwhelming, all things considered. And then this year, again, missing the tournament. So now 4 years in, we've only made the tournament twice. We haven't won an NCAA title game. But why am I cautiously optimistic about where we're going? About what we learned from this group of guys, and many of them outside of Colonel Roach and Dylan O. The rest of these guys are going to be coming back, you know, that we saw in this run. And the time that Gerald Liddell, Royce Ham, Courtney Ramey moving really over to our primary decision maker at the point guard spot, and the development of those young guys. You know, you're looking at, we've had so many issues to me with guys getting better year after year in this Texas basketball program. Could be a culture issue because this thing is actually predates Shaka Smart if you've really been following this program. But over this stretch, to see a guy like a Liddell get those minutes in an environment playing in New York where they get to travel, extra practices, extra games against real competition, people trying to win, I like it. Just learning how to win, you know, starting there, learning how to be consistent, learning how to go after a goal and achieve it, and seeing it and celebrating with your teammates and finishing the season on a win, finishing the season on a high. These are all things that I feel like Shaka Smart in this program can build from. You heard Chris Del Conte say last night he thinks Shaka Smart's a good coach, and I think he, you see him sitting behind the bench last night. He's obviously rooting for Shaka. I'm rooting for Shaka. I've been very disappointed, like I said earlier, with what we've seen from this program, but it's not over yet. And I feel like with another year, guys like Will Baker, Donovan Williams, Kai Jones coming in, 3 of our recruits who I think fill some needs, and what we have with the freshmen and the guard play, the improved guard play, I think we're starting to, and when I talk about identity earlier, what I mean by that is really defensively. Texas really overwhelmed a lot of these teams in this tournament with their athleticism, specifically on the perimeter, guarding, you know, picking up full court. We started to see some of those elements of havoc that Shaka had at VCU where they went on their Final Four run. So if we can start to establish some of those tendencies at Texas, I think everyone will be very, very happy. Now, in terms of the culture, you know, us as a fan base, we've been, you know, even after the game last night, you see people coming out with the 69th best team in the country memes, and, you know, and I'm talking about Texas fans, but I'm even talking about, you know, trolls or people who don't like Texas. I don't care about that, but I'm talking about people who claim that they're Texas fans and whatnot. To be so shallow and not seeing the development, the process of this team, that this was actually a good thing for them. You know, like if we had gone to, and I'm not, you know, if we had gone to the tournament and lost in the first round, and Gerald Liddell doesn't get any better, we don't learn anything about Courtney Ramey as a point guard. You know, we never get to see Royce Ham. Would that have been the best thing for this team? And that's the question I have to you guys, and we can debate that in the comments. But in my opinion, I think for what this team needed and for what Shaka Smart needed something. He needed a win. I think this NIT could be something that's a building block, a stepping stone to where Texas ultimately wants to get to. Look, Texas basketball is not a blue blood basketball program like a North Carolina, or Kansas, or Duke, or any of those type of programs. But neither is Texas Tech. And look, Chris Beard's best coach in the country right now, in my opinion. He obviously won AP Coach of the Year, and his team's going to be competing, like I said, in the Final Four. But they had to start from somewhere as well, and they started on the defensive side of the basketball. And I think with Shaka doing that, and if we just play smarter, and that's been one of our frustrations, even last night at times, seeing guys stepping on the baseline, lazy passes, not feeding the post on time. If we can get more consistent guard play with that and shooting, all of our guards this year outside of Curran Roach shot below 40%. Now we did see an uptick shooting wise, even from the 3-point line in the NIT tournament. I think that corresponded with confidence coming from them generating turnovers on the defensive side of things. If they can work on those things and improve those things, and it also comes down to those kids. Does Matt Coleman want to get better going his junior year? Does Courtney Ramey build off of the momentum he had? You know, Jace Febris, you know, does he want to be one of the elite shooters in the Big 12, if not the country, going into next year? Because he put together a good run, you know, at times of elite shooting, even in the championship game last night. You know, can Royce Ham develop a little bit of a face-up game, just to keep teams honest, as he's going to get more minutes filling in for Dylan O. You know, Jericho Sims, can we get more of the freshman Jericho Sims versus him kind of going into a shell as a sophomore? But even this tournament was good for him, filling back in for Jackson Hayes, starting to play with better confidence and attacking the boards and being the athletic specimen that we all know that he is. So all these things, I feel like ultimately this was a positive for this program. I am cautiously optimistic moving forward going into next year, especially with the additions we have coming in. Hopefully we can stabilize our assistant coaching staff. I know there's some potential turnover there, especially with Buzz Williams accepting the job at Texas A&M, but we'll see. Overall, though, I'm excited. I will celebrate this, and in this development, and I think we'll celebrate it more if the team gets to where we want to go. Not having low-level expectations as a fan base. Our expectations, I feel like, should be contending for the Big 12. And when I say contending, I mean finishing at least within the top 3, making a run in the Big 12 tourney, and trying to get to that at least that second weekend of the NCAA tournament and going on a real run, racking up some Sweet 16, some Elite 8 appearances. Even with some of the great players we have in this program, we haven't been on a real run really since the one time with DJ Augustine and then one time with TJ Ford. So if we can get some momentum in our program and kind of shoot for where the trajectory that Texas Tech has ultimately head to, and that's going to take some time, but I think the NIT is a positive stepping stone to get there and not something to be made fun of, in my opinion. So I'm excited. You guys let me know in the comments what you think. We'll be back with some more content this weekend. Excited to talk about Texas spring football. Also, we will be doing a live chat on YouTube Sunday night. So please hit me up. John is probably going to join us as well. So very, very excited to discuss all things. We'll be talking Cowboys, NFL. I'm probably going to do a AAF video, the cluster that's become. So all these things, very, very excited for you guys. And like I said, like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you guys as always. Thank you.